and welcome to Prudent Media News. Now look at the headlines. Dasra celebrated with fervor, Shubh Muhurat to people for any purchases. It's victory of good over evil. US technology tycoon Apple's Steve Jobs dies after suffering from pancreatic cancer, leaves a legacy of gorgeous technology behind. Mickey spends second day in GMC, complains of breathing problem, heartbeat low, blood pressure high. Goa Lokayukta doesn't even have right to get cabinet notings and decisions. Even Aam Aadmi can get the documents through RTI. Is Lokayukta too toothless? A special report. Australian AFC licensed coach Norman Boardman arrives in Goa to implement crucial youth development program. India need to have more realistic World Cup plans, says the Aussie. And 1 year won't do. AIFF need to offer minimum tenure of 3 years for head coach, says assistant India coach Savio Madeira. Armand Culasso was right to turn down AIFF's offer, says Savio. And now the news in detail. Let's celebrate victory of good over evil. Dasra was celebrated throughout the country with great fervor and enthusiasm on Thursday. The vehicle sale in the state witnessed a steep rise in the last 24 hours. For many proprietors, it is a Shubh Muhurat to inaugurate their new establishment. This year, gold prices have hit an all-time high following economic crisis in Europe.
Dasra is one of the most popular festivals celebrated across the country. It is considered as one of the most auspicious 3.5 Shubh Muhurats. Dasra is celebrated to mark victory of good over evil and victory of gods over demons. According to the Hindu mythology, Lord Ram killed Ravan on the 10th day of their battle, and hence it is called as Vijayadashmi. The 9 festive nights of Navratri culminate into the grand festival of Dasra. On this occasion, professionals, farmers, servicemen, business class and other people worship the tools that help them to earn their livelihood. People also prefer purchase of gold and other costly household items on this day.
आजचो रेट आसा केडियमाचो तोळ्याचो 26,000 आनी 24 कॅरेटचो आसा 28,000. सो दसऱ्याच्या दिसा आमकां रिस्पॉन्स खूब बरो आसता, क्रावड आसता, बिकॉज वो दीस भांगर घेवपाचो दीस. जरी भांगर वाडना, भांगराची रेट वाडत आसा, तरी भांगर इज द बेस्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट. सो लोकांनी जर भांगराची रेट वाडल्या म्हणून घेनासतना रावप न्ही, हे इन्वेस्टमेंट म्हणून एटलिस्ट घेवपाचें. कित्याक फाटीं फुडें हेजी रेट वाडटलो आनी ताजी रिटर्न्स बरे येतले. म्हणून एज एन इन्वेस्टमेंट सुद्दां घेवपाचें. अलंकार म्हणून आमी घेतातूच, पूण एज अ इन्वेस्टमेंट म्हणून सुद्दां भांगर घेवप.
A reporter from Panji, Jason Suarez, with video journalist Ravindra Dalvi.
Former chief executive and co-founder of US technology giant Apple, Steve Jobs, died on Thursday. He was 56. Jobs announced he was suffering from pancreatic cancer in 2004. He introduced the colorful iMac computer, the iPod and the iPhone to the world. His death came just a day after Apple unveiled its latest iPhone 4S model.
Jobs had built a reputation as a forthright and demanding leader who could take niche technologies such as the mouse and graphical window-based interface and make them popular with the general public. In 2004, Jobs announced that he was suffering from pancreatic cancer and he had a liver transplant 5 years later. Apple said, Steve's brilliance, passion and energy were the source of countless innovations that enrich and improve all of our lives. The world is immeasurably better because of Steve. Microsoft boss Bill Gates said, Jobs' profound impact would be felt for many generations to come. For those of us lucky enough to get to work with him, it's been an insanely great honor. I will miss Steve immensely. US President Barack Obama paid tribute. Michelle and I are saddened to learn of the passing of Steve Jobs. Steve was among the greatest of American innovators, brave enough to think differently, bold enough to believe he could change the world, and talented enough to do it. The world has lost a visionary. In January, he took medical leave before resigning as CEO in August and handing over his duties to Tim Cook. In his resignation letter, Jobs said, "I believe Apple's brightest and most innovative days are ahead of it, and I look forward to watching and contributing to its success in a new role." However, Jobs stayed on as Apple's chairman. Here are a few of the best tweets that followed the net after Jobs' death. Steve Jobs, the Newton of Apple. One apple seduced Adam, the second fell on Newton, third we are still dealing with. I don't know whether to celebrate Dasra or mourn death of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was instrumental in the founding of Pixar. Can you imagine life without all the joy of watching those Pixar films? Thank you, Mr. Jobs. I like that Steve Jobs said that the knowledge that he could die soon impacted all his life choices. A reminder to us all to live for today. Steve Jobs, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. In the passing of Steve Jobs, the world has lost one of the greatest innovators of this century. Bureau Report, Prudent Media.
Barauni MLA Mickey Pacheco spent his second day in the GMC on Thursday. Sources in the GMC informed that Pacheco has breathing problem, high BP and low heartbeat. Mickey was admitted in GMC on Wednesday after he was sentenced to judicial custody for 6 months. He is convicted for assaulting a junior electrical engineer.
Sources in the GMC informed that Mickey's heartbeats are very low and blood pressure is high. Mickey is guarded by 4 policemen in the GMC's ICU. No person is allowed to meet him. The revision petition filed in the Special Court of Madgaon will be heard on Friday. Mickey's medical report will also be submitted in the court. Lower court earlier this year had convicted Mickey. Later, Pacheco appealed in the District and Sessions Court. Sessions Court at Madgaon on Wednesday had upheld the order of lower court and dismissed his bail plea, sending him to Sada sub-jail. The court has reduced his sentence from 1 year to 6 months. Pacheco had assaulted junior engineer of electricity department Kapil Natekar in 2006. Our reporter in Panji, Basuri Desai.
It's time for a short break. Stay tuned.